Now, this is your time.
As of recording, Chadwick Boseman passed away 5 years ago today. He had been suffering from colon cancer and passed away in August of 2020. This especially hit me and my brothers hard because this was just 2 months after our own father had passed away. Chadwick inspired millions with the roles he played, from James Brown to Jackie Robinson to even the Black Panther. So today I want to talk about his amazing but short career and all of the characters that he played. Let's get started.
Davis, 2,386 yards, 360 carries, 6.6 yards a carry.
A drama based on the life of college football hero Ernie Davis, the first African American to win the Heisman Trophy. I don't have a lot to say about this movie since Chadwick was only in the entire movie for maybe 5 minutes at the very end. What I will say though is he brought more energy to this movie than anyone else did, desperately trying to be as good as Ernie Davis. This was his first movie.
Got any ladies in your life?
That's a negative also, sir.
The shadow of war follows a troubled Iraq vet as he is forced to pursue one of his own into the Pacific Northwest wilderness to finally confront a war crime that has haunted them both. This was not a very good movie, but I thought Boseman did a lot with very little. I just watched this for the first time, so it is fresh in my mind. While this movie sounds like it would be very good and deep, it unfortunately was not. But Chadwick did a great job playing a veteran lieutenant who suffers from crippling PTSD. He was turned into a monster by the US government and had to do some terrible things that still haunt him to this day. Boseman does a great job conveying that grief and regret during the movie. You can tell he's really hurt by what they did, and he is kept up at night thinking about it. This being his debut starring role, I'd assume they didn't have a ton of belief in him yet. But while the movie tanked critically, I think he shined throughout, leading to his 13-movie stretch in the next 8 years.
It's here to play ball.
It's just a bunch of crackpots still fighting the Civil War.
In 1947, Jackie Robinson becomes the first African American to play in Major League Baseball in the modern era when he was signed by the Brooklyn Dodgers and faces considerable racism in the process. There is more on IMDb, but this gives you the main idea. Now, this is the movie that really got him his start, in my opinion. The Kill Hole may have been his first, starring role, but this was the first movie that I'd heard of personally. I think he did an amazing job as Jackie Robinson. The real-life Jackie had to go through so much racism and hatred, and I think Boseman did a great job showing how hard it was not to fight hatred with hatred. He rightfully was enraged this entire movie, and Chadwick does a good job showing a man fight through something impossible. I've been wanting to see this movie for years, so I'm so glad I finally got the chance to do so. At the NFL Draft, general manager Sonny Weaver has the opportunity to rebuild his team when he trades for the number 1 pick. He must decide what he's willing to sacrifice on a life-changing day for a few hundred young men with NFL dreams. This was another not great movie, but honestly, Boseman wasn't in it a lot. Chadwick played Vontae Mack, a college player who wants to be drafted by the Browns. That's how you know this is a fiction movie. This movie was not very well written, but Chadwick did well with what he was given. His character was very driven, considered the most passionate player in the draft. He was also a family man who takes care of his sister's children since she passed away. He did a great job showing how much the game of football meant to his character. Like I said, he wasn't in the movie a lot, but when he was, I thought he was very good.
Let's make some music. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Get On Up is a chronicle of James Brown's rise from extreme poverty to become one of the most influential musicians in history. Another biopic for Boseman where he got to play an incredibly famous person, this time being James Brown. This is the first character Chadwick played that I specifically did not like, not because of his acting, but because James Brown must have been a major asshole, honestly. He did a great job playing someone who came from nothing and then had the world at his feet. He played a manic and sometimes crazy James Brown very well, even down to his voice and dance moves. This being his second biopic, it's easy to compare the movie to 42, which I like a lot more. But you can tell Boseman gave it his all for this film.
If I even attempted to explain, your brain would liquefy and run out of your ears.
Mortal hero Beck teams up with the god Horus in an alliance against Set, the merciless god of darkness, who has usurped Egypt's throne, plunging the once peaceful and prosperous empire into chaos and conflict. Gods of Egypt was a silly big-budget movie that never really connected with audiences or critics. In this movie, Chadwick played Thoth, or Toth. I've seen it said different ways, but he was the god of wisdom who displays two very fun attributes. Firstly, he is incredibly smart and always trying to gather knowledge. He is gluttonous in the terms of wanting to learn literally everything. His other attribute is that he's pretty funny, in my opinion. None of the other movies we've seen, like I've seen for this list, have given Boseman a chance to be funny yet, so I'm glad he finally did. He isn't in this movie a lot, but I enjoyed every moment he was on screen.
This isn't about money.
In this movie, Boseman plays Jacob King, an African man searching Los Angeles for his younger sister, Bianca, who he hadn't heard from in a while. In this movie, Chadwick is a man on a mission. He needs to find out what happened to his sister. He shows up to Los Angeles with $600 in his pocket, no credit card, and no one to help him. He goes through this mystery, peeling back more and more as he finds out what happened to Bianca. He gets to play a badass in this movie. He can take anyone out at any time. This is especially interesting because, as far as we know, he's just a cab driver back home. I love seeing him get to play a John Wick type kind of character. He's also a great detective and just wants what's best for his sister. Jacob King is one of my favorite characters he's played so far. This is, I don't know, he was just very good.
I need an army of lawyers just like you, Sam.
The story of Thurgood Marshall, the crusading lawyer who would become the first African-American Supreme Court justice as he battles through one of his career-defining cases. In this movie, Chadwick plays the historic Thurgood Marshall. He fights tooth and nail for justice and does not want to see anyone wrongfully imprisoned or killed due to the color of their skin. Boseman's powerful acting on screen brought such a powerful role to life. I'm starting to think he is in more biopics than anyone else, but it's obviously because he is such a great and versatile actor.
During the Civil War, some soldiers just kept loading their muskets without ever firing.
An embattled NYPD detective is thrust into a citywide manhunt for a pair of cop killers after uncovering a massive and unexpected conspiracy. Chadwick played Detective Andre Davis, who is known to be a bit of an executioner in the NYPD. He plays a cold, unemotional man that takes his job very seriously and is very good at what he does. It's nice seeing Chadwick do more physical acting than emotional, just like he has previously. Usually his parts are very dialogue heavy, so it's nice that in both this and the movie Message from the King, we got to see him kind of be a badass.
Period. For now. They asked me, say the VC got it.
4 black veterans battle the forces of man and nature when they return to Vietnam, seeking the remains of their fallen squad leader and gold fortune he helped them hide. Boseman plays Norman, a man who had passed away in the Vietnam War and the original leader of this group. Many of the characters are haunted by his death, particularly one of them who blames himself completely. Chadwick is very passionate in this role. He was a true leader to them, and he was very inspirational, especially when it came to racial inequality. I actually feel like Boseman really shines in these roles portraying civil rights struggles.
Across the floor, you'll never have to stop my jelly roll.
Tensions rise when trailblazing blues singer Ma Rainey and her band gather at a recording studio in Chicago in 1927. This was the last movie that he recorded, as far as I know. He played Levy, a trumpet player with big dreams of starting his own band and calling all the shots. His character is tragic and experiences a mental breakdown during the film. While that is horrible in real life, in this case, we got to see Boseman put on a great performance. His range was unbelievable, and I can't imagine how far he would have gotten in his career if he had gotten the chance. He shows a very desperate man broken by his past and the rampant racism all around him. This, to me, was one of the best roles that he played.
This is your last chance. Throw down your weapons, and we can handle this another way.
I waited to talk about the final role because I think this was his most iconic. He also played this character, the Black Panther, in 4 movies: Captain America Civil War, Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. In these movies, he played T'Challa, who is King of Wakanda and the superhero Black Panther. He was amazing in this role. He just really went all in and truly became the Black Panther in a lot of our eyes. In this role, he's a leader, a genius, a warrior, and a king. And if you didn't know he was an actor, you'd think he was the real thing. From his accent to the way he carries himself, Boseman was a truly fantastic superhero, actor, and person. It has been 5 years since we've lost this great actor. He poured everything he had into so many different historical and fantastical characters in his short career. I personally think he could have become a generational actor, and I'm grateful that he shared his talent with us during the short time that he had.